Hello everybody, Gary Curran here, Jungle Heaven. I'm going to do this little special video today, just showing you how I prep my plants and get them ready for propagation. So basically turning one plant into two plants, three plants, four plants, etc, etc. So what I'm going to do first of all is just explain to you the plants I've got here that I want to cut and propagate. But a couple of things you're going to need to do is you're going to need some little kind of pruning scissors, nice sharp tools, and obviously they need to be sterilised, hydrogen peroxide or left in boiling water for 5 minutes. Scissors, same thing applies. It's just these ones are more intricate to get into the little stem. If there's any nodes that are close together, these are perfect because as you can see the blades are really thin. Scissors if there's a little bit more room. These are nice strong scissors. But first let me talk to you about the plants. So I've got an Anthurium crystal cross forgetii, which I'm going to turn into two plants, maybe three if I can. So as you can see inside here we've got some nice aerial roots that are growing. And I can definitely turn that into two plants. Okay, so the second one, darkest Panama. This one's actually growing quite well. So if I lift this leaf out the way, you can see it's got plenty of roots, aerial roots, etc. I've got an Ace of Spades cross Goliath, which I think I will do as well. This one I've actually lost the label to, so I don't know what Anthurium hybrid this is, but as you can see again, there's plenty of room to take some cuttings. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I've got a nice clear tray lid here, just basically to catch all the leca, because I'll be tipping these out, checking the roots as well while I'm on, and you know, giving everyone a little view of how the roots are doing. But I don't know if you can see the roots inside the pot. Hopefully you can. There's a better one here, I'm sure. So you can see these are actively growing in leca and water. And what I'm using here in Thailand is that I found this little nutrient solution, HB101, which I get from a little garden store downtown here in Bangkok. And I found this to be very effective for creating more roots and the growth. Normally, like when I do these, I buy the plants, I transfer them into leca straight away, and then just turn around and, you know, pop them in a little clear pot, some holes at the bottom, you know, there's roots escaping here, and then just leave them in a little box as is here, and then keeps the humidity up, because here in Bangkok we have very hot weather at the moment. We've got a heat wave, temperature around 38 degrees today, real full temperature 46 if you add the humidity in. So the Anthuriums are struggling a little bit, some of my bigger ones, with crispy leaves. So these boxes make perfect substitution to create that little bit more humidity to save the leaves. Right, okay, so let's get started. Let's get the first one out. Okay, so let's start with this one. This is that hybrid that I told you about, that I've lost the label. Beautiful hybrid, nice shaped leaves. So let's make sure all the water's out of here. And I think I will turn this up that way, because then it'll save any water that comes out of the pot too. Just clear the leca off nice and easy. So leca, if you don't have something to catch the leca, it goes everywhere, so it's great. So let's have a look at the roots then. So you come in and get a close up. As you can see, really nice healthy root system, and you can see the stem starting down here, finishing up here. So I could possibly get a bottom cut, a mid cut and a top cut. So I'll try to do a cutting, just take the top off this plant first and we'll see how we go. So what I'll do is I will drop down the camera just a touch so you can see more of the action down here as opposed to more of me. So just have a look at the plant itself. Keep an eye on growing eyes because that's very important if you're doing cuttings. So I can see a growing eye here. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken a top cut and created this bottom piece. So this will be no problem growing because I can see there's a little eyelet in here. It's too small to bring into the camera, but I don't know, I'll try and show you. See this little eye here? I will stick the lacquer back in. I'm sorry if this is coming out a little bit noisy on the microphones, but it's better you hear everything, I suppose, than just little bits. So what I'd like to do is just quickly while I'm doing this is just ask your opinion. What do you think of the channel? Are you liking it? Is there anything you'd like to see? Anything more that interests you more than just the content that I'm putting on at the moment? So maybe more to do with propagation, growing techniques, plant shows, tours, and nurseries around Bangkok and Thailand. And what I'd like to say is I have just bought a beautiful Anthurium. I'm not going to say too much about it now because I'm going to collect it in Vietnam on Thursday. It's currently Tuesday afternoon here in Bangkok, and it's a rather special Anthurium, and this one's purely going to be for me to grow and propagate, flower, pollinate, create seeds, etc., and do some hybrids with it. I'm going to show you Thursday once I get it into my hands, or Friday maybe, depending what time I get into Ho Chi Minh. But yeah, it's going to be a real special video. I'll do from leaving here Bangkok, getting on the plane, etc., getting out to the nursery, and just so you guys can see what's happening with it. So we're back in the pot, so you can see the roots looking rather tasty. And this little top cut, this needs to callus over and dry out a little bit, because if you put it into a very high humidity environment, what will happen is that could rot. So just leave it outside. Once you do your cut, leave it outside growing, callusing over for a couple of hours, then I'm going to put it back into the pot. So I'll stick that to one side for now. Well, actually I'll put it back in here because we'll keep the water in. Okay, so here is the top cut. So as you can see, you've got lots and lots of aerial roots. It's quite tight in there. I think I might be able to get another cutting out of that. Let's do it and just see how it goes. But first of all, I'm going to cut this leaf off because this one's yellow and it's coming to the end of its life. So again, look for the growing eye. I think in here will be a good cut. Sorry about the noise outside. Just started this video and someone's down there clearing leaves. Right, so this cutting again needs to callus over, dry out a little bit, and it will go into moss, this one, because there's not much secondary roots in it. These are the aerial roots. So once this goes into moss, I will just leave it in a closed environment again, high humidity, and that will promote a lot more growth with the roots. And the other little cut, as you can see, this one again will go into moss. There is a growing eye just behind that sheath. So yeah, so I've turned one plant into 3. And this is how you can expand your collection, you know, make little gifts if you want to give them away, or if you're selling plants, you know, these are ideal once they start rooting. So next one is the darkest Panama. This is one of my favorites actually. I love how this grows, and when the leaves become really mature and massive. Again, we've got loads of room here for trimming, cutting. So I'm going to get in here straight away. I'm not going to empty this one out. So I've got this nice top cut, nice little aerial root, which this will go into spag moss and grow nicely. What are we doing? Where are we going? Where are we going with this? Wait. We've got a mid cut, gain some nice roots on there. And the bottom cut, which has a nice little leaf on it, which will stay in that pot. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to moisten this down a little bit, these lacquer balls, because these are quite dry. I'm just going to rest these little cuttings on top so I know which plant they come from. So darkest Panama, you are done. Next plant, Anthurium crystal cross spaghetti. So let's go all the way down here. You do tend to lose a leaf now and again, but I don't worry about that. This one I'm only going to turn into 2 plants because there's not a lot left on the top of this stem. Again, callus, moss, lots of humidity, and let's give it a nice drink. Then we got the second is the unknown hybrid. Again, I really don't know what one this is. I'll have to reach out to the people that I buy these from actually and see if they can come up with a name. That's it. So we've got a nice bottom cut. This one's quite a nice size actually. There's plenty of room to take another cut in, so I will be greedy on this one because I do love the leaves. So I'd like a couple of these in my collection. Maybe one to sell at a later date. You see a new leaves growing up through here. So here we are. That's the top. There's a stem cutting which has a growing eye, some aerial roots. Those roots will come out quite quick once I put it in a prop box. And lastly, I have the Ace of Spades Goliath. This one is looking a little bit sad actually. It's looking a bit crispy dry, but I think we can take a little cutting across there. Let's bring you here. Just double check. Yeah, right down. See how easy that cut is with these little thin secateurs. So we've got an aerial root on here. This will go into moss, closed cabinet, and we have the bottom cut inside here. Give you a nice little drink. And what I've done with these is I've kind of come to like in this way that I propagate into the leca, because you have a cup inside a cup. There's obviously holes in the bottom of this. You can work out what your level is for the water to stay up, and obviously this is just touching the bottom, so I need to top up to keep it hydrated. And that's probably why the leaves on this one has, you know, kind of gone a little bit crispy yellow. So must pay more attention to it. What I'll do is I'll give you an update in about 4 to 6 weeks. It's currently the 30th of April now, so probably about end of May, maybe middle of June, depending on how quick they're growing. Okay, so remember www.jungleheaven.co.uk, and although it's a .co.uk company, I do ship to Europe and I do ship to America. So, you know, if you've got any inquiries, just drop me a line on the inquiry page on the website. Also on Instagram, Facebook, jungleheaven.co.uk. So links will be down below in the comment section. I have let the ends of these cuttings callus over, and I've prepped some moss for the cuttings, and obviously labelled up my pots with the names of the cuttings so there's no confusion. And what you want to do is just like lightly put the moss into the cup. Don't pack it in too much, because you want some air in between the moss, you know, so it gives good air to the roots, etc. So half fill that, and this is one of my hybrid cuttings which I've just done. So, and make a little hole in the middle, or little indentation I should say, and place the cutting inside. What you don't want to do is bury the stem into the moss, because it'll create a little bit of rot, you know, and you could lose the cutting. So just pack it round. What I do is I try to just pack around the edges more than the middle, so it keeps the humidity up inside the cup. So it's just sitting in there nice and loose, and voila. I've potted all of the little cuttings up, put it in moss, not oversaturated the moss, just like leave it a little bit damp, because it's going to go into a sealed plastic box, so it needs only a little bit of moisture in that moss. The existing cuttings are back in the leca, so the base of the plants, and I've been quite productive, I think, because I will give you a little tour of everything that I've done. So I've got crystal cross spaghetti. So we have two cuttings on this one, top cutting, base cutting. This one here is the Ace of Spades cross magnificum. This one should look gorgeous when it's a lot bigger. This is hybrid one, so we got the base, the mid, and a top cut in here. The Hulk for cross black sweet, so again two here. So as you can see, these lovely gorgeous leaves with the flatter sinuses. Got the Zara Michelle, tiny little plant there, but hopefully that'll start growing well. This is hybrid 2. And when I find out what the names are, I'll update you in the next video in 4 to 6 weeks on how these are growing. Okay, so darkest Panama. So again, 3 cuttings on this, so plenty of roots in this on the base cutting. 2 little cuttings of mid and a top on that. I've got 2 Anthurium black sweet in here, plus the Zara Michelle. So I did cut this plant up previously and sold a couple of cuttings, but now it's growing really well, so you can see the new leaf coming out here. And the base of this is looking good. Zara Michelle, little cutie. Need this one to grow up because I can't wait to see the full size leaves on this one. Ace of Spades cross Goliath. So no leaves on the base cutting, but that will be fine. You know, that will sprout out from this grey point on the other side. And here's the top cutting. So looking good, looking good. A couple of plants that I was hoping to chop, but I decided not to because the stems on this Fort Sherman Dark Phoenix, or Darkest Panama I should say, wasn't a good size basically to cut, and I don't want to muck this plant up because I've got high potential for this one for breeding and pollinating. The other one here, the big leaf one, Ace of Spades cross Red Crystal. Again, not enough on the stem to safely cut, so I'd rather be safe than sorry on this. So yeah, so this is basically the collection now that's grown a lot bigger. So again, I've got some plants in here. This is the Gunayala Pappy, Ace of Spades mag for this one. I've got a Black Velvet Hybrid, which is just starting to grow inside here, and another hybrid. And let me know what you'd like to see, you know, in the future on this channel, because I'm only just starting. It's very nerve-wracking for me. I don't like being in front of the camera, but you know, hey, to get this channel up and going, I do require a little bit of support, you know, so kind comments appreciated. And if you've got some constructive criticism, you know, I don't mind that either. So yeah, please stay tuned. Please follow, like, subscribe, all of the usual stuff to help me with the YouTube journey. And I will look forward to seeing you in my next video, the Vietnam video, when I go to collect this unicorn Anthurium. Okay, thanks for watching.